Hello, Northern Fields players mostly, ideally. I just figured I'd do a really quick tutorial on how I make my swords, because I've been seeing a lot of confusion and questions and people sort of doing very strange things with the noodles, which, you don't really want to be wasting good materials. So, got a core that I've prepped. It's got a stab tip. It's got a handle already. I like to build up my handles with duct tape to counterweight them, and I can do a quick tutorial on how I make my stab tips later. This is sort of a rush job, but what I'm gonna do, I've got a piece of noodle that I've cut. This is the Big Boss noodle. It's very, very large, and it is, God, I hope you can hear me. Yeah, okay, sure, this should be fine. So it's a Big Boss noodle. This stuff's really, really light. I like this particular brand. The other brand you can get in the city, a little bit heavier, a little bit denser, will probably last a bit longer. But honestly, I found that this, you can kind of stretch it for at least a month of pretty serious fighting. I think I fight more than many players in the park, so one of these should last you a good while. So what we're gonna do is cut, so it's roughly the same. It's the same size as my core here, right? So the first thing we're gonna do, take an X-Acto knife or scissors or whatever you want, and we're going to sort of shave down just a very small portion. We're gonna taper it. So it looks like this. It'll just make it easier to attach it to the core. So now what we're gonna do, we're gonna slide it onto our core, like so. And we're gonna take our packing tape, which is right here. We're gonna find the start of it. Uh-oh. It's gonna look really good on camera. There we go. Find the start of your packing tape. And do two pieces, attaching your noodle to your core, just like that. And then another one on the other side. And this is gonna stop it from moving while you affix it to the core. This is a trick I picked up from Bjorn from Ivory Towers. So now that we've got it affixed to the core like that, we're going to do what we call torque wrapping. So I'm going to start going from here, so the top of that sort of taper, right there, and I'm going to squeeze really hard. And I'm going to use my hand to like pull that tape forward, apply a lot of force. And we're going to do that. And we're going to go all the way around. And then we're going to go onto the core a little bit. So it should be taped on the handle. Right? So now it looks like this. Then we're going to turn it upside down. We're going to do the exact same thing. Going the same direction, but now it's upside down. So it's actually going to be going in the opposite direction. And this will give us a really, really solid attachment to our core. Plus the taper just looks really good, in my opinion. So now we've got attached to the core. It's not going anywhere, but it's really chunky, and maybe I cut the noodle a little bit too short, but yeah. Next up, this actually isn't a problem because as we wrap it, this foam is going to push up as it sort of has nowhere to go. So here's the actual trick to how we make our swords here, or how I guess some of our players are making our swords with this noodle. it's a bit of a workaround, so I'm not going to show you the whole thing. Maybe I will. We'll find out. But it's what we're going to do. We're going to do the same strategy we did to wrap it like this, but because there's more foam, it's not tapered. It's really going to stay. So let's see if we can show it. So I've got my tape attached there, and watch how I'm using my hand here. So I'm going to use my palm, the palm of my hand here, to really apply a significant amount of pressure. I'm going to use my hand to hold the noodle and pull that down. And we're going to do that in a spiral motion. The more consistent you can keep the force, and the less like folding your tape does as you do this, the better your sword's going to look and the lighter it's going to be. The trick here is the less tape you can use to affix it, the better your sword is. Right, so now look at this. It's really, really compressed down, and it's really fat here. You can even see here, it's starting to push up onto that tip. That means you're doing a lot, you're doing good, right? So we just do this all the way around. It's really hard to show this, I'm learning. Right, and so the trick is, so here, here you can see that my tape is starting to lose a little bit, it's starting to fold over itself. I don't want that. That's something I'm trying to avoid. So I'm going to sort of do a nice big wrap, try to get back to that full foam. And as you can see, it got a little bit lumpy there because my tape started to roll over, and my force was inconsistent. Well, because I'm talking and trying to get a good video of me doing this. Also, I'm just not all that great at keeping it consistent. But as we go up, you can see now that the tip is almost entirely covered in foam, which is fantastic. So we don't have to worry about that. And keep it going. And this is a heck of a forearm workout. Both your arms are going to be feeling a significant amount of burn as you're doing this. And we just kind of keep on going around here. Make sure your tape overlaps. If you have little gaps in your foam, then the foam's going to pop out, and that's where your sword's going to break. This is especially important at the tip where you're going to be doing a lot of your hitting. That's where your foam will pop through and sort of cause an instant failure on your sword. But as long as you're sort of doing a consistent spiral motion all the way up here. Oh, see, there we go. I'll fix that. I had, let's see here, I'm losing my, oops, over, see there, I'm losing the tape's not on. I want to fix that, so we're going to back it up slightly and go back. And spiral. Oh, my arm is hurt. All the way up. And now, you have a sword with a stab tip. It's actually, my stab tip has a lot of foam here. So there's actually an inch of foam from here to the core, which means I can just put one layer of capping foam on here and it'll be good to go. I do not know if I have any caps around currently, so we're just gonna finish this video, but this is how you can make a sword. Cap it off with some blue foam, or any kind of foam you have, really, that's sort of a little bit flatter. Some people use half a stress ball. Some people, you can get very similar camp pad like that in like Canadian Tire. And you just put a few layers, whatever you want. If you have any shield foam left over, you can cut one of those and make a really, really thick capping, which is really solid and safe. And you can't feel any core anywhere along here. It's not going anywhere. So that's how I make my swords, and how you should probably be making swords as well.